We're back again. The Coon Prairie Ramblers.
Segment 3.
Yes, sir.
And we decided to stick with the gardening theme here.
And
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Yes.
Consider it done.
Doug.
We were talking about, the difference between then and now, too, and the fact that we kind of not totally lived off the land, but a lot more. We were more connected to the land. And Mom and Dad worked. I mean, he was in the Marine Corps and he retired, but he didn't retire to go to Nocatee and live the life of Riley. I mean, he worked for years and years, probably another 20, 30 years he worked. But anyhow, because of the fact that he worked, and I don't mean had a job, I mean, he worked, and he was kind of a fix-it man, too. Anything that tore up or anything that happened, he didn't call the repairman. He just fixed it himself. But
that's right.
I think because of that, we ate 3 squares a day.
Full meals.
Full meals. And we'd be laying in bed sleeping, and Mom would wake us up and say, get up. We had to get up and go to the bathroom. You had to brush your teeth, comb your hair, put on clothes. You didn't come to the table in your...
You had to brush your teeth before you ate?
Yeah. You did.
What?
You didn't come to the table in your pajamas.
So sleep in your eyes.
No, you had to wash your sleepers out of your eyes and all that. And you better come in there with a little smile on your
better
face.
Be presentable.
Be happy. And we'd eat a full breakfast.
No bacon for you.
I mean, we ate a breakfast. We ate biscuits and bacon and eggs and grits or hash browns, something. And that was the only thing Dad did do was after that, I guess it was like a dessert to him or something, he would have a bowl of cereal.
Like
after he'd ate a full meal, I mean, he'd have a bowl of cereal.
That's a hearty meal,
and
right
then when
there.
he'd come home for lunch, unless he was out doing something where he couldn't come home, when he came home for lunch, there was another meal on the table. It wasn't, here, sit down and have a bologna sandwich or cheese sandwich. Or
I heard that. It was a meal.
And then that night, we ate another meal. And the weird thing about all that was, I mean, we were eating 3 squares a day and drinking pure cow's milk, and I was skinny as a rail.
There you go. Well, you worked hard around the house.
Yep.
You must have been wormy.
Yep.
Wormy. My great-grandfather was a farmer by trade. His son, my grandfather, was a railroad man. My father was a sailor, so we just got it all mixed up. But farming's in my blood. We did a lot of that. But I had an uncle, the one I mentioned earlier. He cheated. They bought him a pea sheller. I don't know where in the world they found that thing. They just feed the peas in there, and it would shell the peas for them.
Well,
I remember those.
Are you kidding me?
That was...
Why didn't I have one?
That was a treat. that thing.
Was.
And I think they still got it. I think they may still have a garden down there.
I didn't know about that. I told
do
my
that.
mom to get one of them.
That's exactly right. They were cheating.
You remember, too, back in those days, all the women, when they were cooking and canning, they always wore aprons.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'd use aprons to carry things around.
Well,
I got a bunch of peas in that.
You gathered eggs in it, but also they'd go out and they'd pick a mess of peas. They'd hold up the 2 ends of the bottom of the apron there, and they'd load it up with tomatoes or okra, or not okra, but peas and stuff.
Wipe your face with it.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. But we ate better, and I think we was healthier. And a lot of people farmed around here. Not only that, it was raising, say they raised hogs back in the day. If you didn't have a smokehouse or way to salt them down, you couldn't really preserve them. So what they do, they'd cut the hog up and they'd keep some, and they'd take a quarter to this neighbor and a quarter to that neighbor, and they shared it. And when the other neighbor, when they killed a hog, they'd bring some of theirs back to that person, and they sort of shared hogs like that back in the day.
Did you ever butcher a hog?
Oh, no, I never have. But
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was quite an experience.
we never had hog. We had chickens and we had cows, but we never had any pigs.
You ever
or
wring a
hogs.
chicken's neck?
Yeah, my granny used to either chop them or wring them and throw them down. They'd jump up and run.
There was something special about a granny that they could wring a chicken's neck before you could say cock robin.
You're right.
They could just whoop.
I think mine could have done 2 at a time.
They must have,
I tortured them to
stood
death.
out there and had practice in the practice range.
Well, I think that 70 years of doing it had something to do
You
with it.
practice with a rubber chicken. Get it and sling that thing
How
around.
many times can you go? 3 slings.
That's right. You crack that neck.
And you know how nowadays whenever some woman goes or man goes to a grocery store and they go buy a chicken and they want to cook it, 90%, unless they're going to cook a whole chicken, they don't they buy pieces. They buy
thighs
cut up.
or legs.
My mother, I never seen her buy
or quarters.
quarters or anything like that. She bought chickens,
The whole chicken.
and she'd cut it up herself.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't
And
nothing
then
like
we'd have to fight over pieces because,
if you like the dark meat, the light meat.
Like,
There's only
yeah.
2 drumsticks.
yeah, and so I didn't like drumsticks, so I had to fight over them. Never have and never will.
What's your favorite part of the chicken?
The gizzard.
Of course.
And that was
than
bad because
other than gizzards,
the thighs.
the thigh. That's me. I was a thigh man.
Yeah.
The breasts dry out when they eat a little bit when they get fried
Yeah,
up.
you could choke on them things.
I like necks.
You like neck? We used to get like neck bone and rice.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
That'd be it. That'd be the only meat in there. Neck. Well, sometimes it'd be like a gizzards and hearts in there. I don't mind eating the hearts.
neck bones from a pig, too.
And my wife would have me, cut the chicken up after she's baked it.
Yeah.
Or whatever she did. And then, before we eat, I'll sit there, and piecing meat and eating the neck and, stuff like that. And by the time supper's ready, I'm full.
The chicken's gone. They're gnawing on bones, and Mel's over there rubbing his belly.
You know what a purloo is?
Yeah, my mom used to make a shrimp purloo.
Yeah, well, we ate purloo a lot of stuff. We had pork purloo,
Chicken
beef
purloo.
chicken
What's a
purloo.
purloo?
Squirrel
It's
purloo.
a rice
Rabbit purloo.
mixed up with the
Possum-
pork.
possum
It's
purloo?
chopped up real fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you find big chunks of pork or beef or chicken.
It's like mince. It's very
It's
small.
more like from a neck bone, backbones, and stuff like that. It'd be
Little bitty
bits and
pieces of
pieces and all.
All that stuff I eat one.
It's in a,
And then also
made up
that
with a rice
liquid,
dish.
that liquid you used to boil that chicken down with, it was back into that rice, and it flavored it up. It was, I'll tell you what, it's good.
Very
eating.
good.
Good eating.
Give me a chicken.
Give me a
Chicken purloo.
Colonel Chicken was still open.
And it's not
Yeah.
spelled. People do spell it wrong or have changed it around, but the original spelling of purloo doesn't seem to look like purloo at all. Looks like pilau.
It looks like a foreign word.
Pilau, I think.
If you make it with squirrel, it's squirreloo instead of purloo. But almost every Sunday dinner, we have our big Sunday dinners. Everybody comes over after church, and we have a feast every Sunday. But 99.9% of the time, there's fresh tomatoes sliced up in there.
Yeah.
On the table somewhere, just fresh tomatoes passed around there. Because that goes good. You cut it up in your beans, in your peas, with your greens, eat it any which way. But
When I was a kid, a lot of people, I'd hear them talk about the gospel bird.
the gospel
And I
bird.
always asked, I said, why do you call a chicken the gospel bird? It's because on Sundays, that's a lot of times when people would always eat a chicken, or if you had a preacher over, you'd always fix fried chicken for him or something. So,
Right. And they call that little nub of a tail the preacher's nose.
yeah. And they said,
I'm not sure they
whenever
appreciated that.
two or more Baptists are gathered together, a chicken must die.
That's exactly right. Thank goodness I'm Baptist. And Southern Baptist on top of that. But
I don't remember us freezing them a lot of stuff.
we did it for a long
A
time.
little
Finally
bit.
got a freezer we did, but we didn't have a freezer for a lot of years.
Yeah, and the freezers back then were a pain in the butt because I don't think they had a frost-free freezer.
No.
And they'd freeze over and then,
All the time. We ate a lot of greens coming up. Collards and mustards and turnips. And had pot liquor when you got done cooking. You had that juice in the bottom. You'd sop your cornbread in. It's called pot liquor.
that's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Cornbread. What about cornbread milk?
My wife does that. She does it in buttermilk.
Buttermilk,
She'll
yeah.
chop it up in butter and put it in a cup, and then pour buttermilk over it and eat it with a spoon.
And my mother was the world's greatest cornbread and buttermilk eater I've ever seen
Have mercy.
in my life.
We're going to have to find some country groceries when we leave out this place. I ain't going to go home and eat no bowl of cereal. You can bet on that.
How did they ever, we've talked about eating all the parts of chicken. Now, some people eat the legs or
The feet.
Feet.
the feet.
The poor people. My
We
mother-in-law
never,
grew up eating
we
the feet.
never ate a
never,
fifth
we
one
never
yet.
was that poor.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law grew up eating chicken feet. She can tell you about them. It was terrible. Well, we're going to have to get on out of here. It's time for the third segment to be over with. So we got to think about F-bomb and come back. So y'all sit tight and we'll be back.